Hi there, today we're going to go through the parkour roll, starting with a simple parkour roll with our shoulders placed on the mat, progressing through the standard parkour roll, and then jumping off objects, landing in the parkour roll, and jumping over objects straight into the parkour roll. I hope you learn and enjoy. For the first progression of the parkour roll, we're going to be starting on our knees, one hand down by our side. The side that our hand is, the knee goes back, then the other hand comes in, almost pointing to the foot that has gone back, to the extent that our head comes down to the side, our shoulder goes on the mat, then we're going to kick up and over with this leg. So you've got to really throw this leg over to initiate the roll, like this. The next progression you might like to try is with bringing your knee forward, then tucking your hand underneath your foot, the other hand goes down by the side, and you're going to tuck your chin to the opposite shoulder because you're going to be rolling over this shoulder. For the next stage of our parkour roll, we're going to start with using the parkour triangle. So you're going to put your hands together like this, not overlapping them. Then to one side of your knee, your left or your right, it doesn't matter, whichever you prefer. Then bring your leg back the side where your hands have gone down. Tuck your chin to your shoulder. And then bend this knee, push yourself over, and you bring yourself through the parkour roll. When we're performing the parkour roll, one of the main objectives is to roll from your shoulder across down to your hip. One of the reasons this doesn't happen, and it ends up more of a forward roll, is when we put our hands to the side, get in the parkour roll place, rather than tucking your chin to your shoulder, people put their head between their arms, and when they roll, they end up doing a forward roll, and it goes down the spine. When we're doing the parkour roll, we're aiming for a little precision and we're trying to go in a straight line. One of the problems people often have is when they're moving their hands to one side or another, as soon as they do that, their hips twist and their legs come out, causing them, rather than rolling in a straight line, they roll over in a diagonal. To avoid that, we want our hands, when we place our hands back, try and make sure your legs go back in a straight line, and if they do twist, just bring them back so your toes are pointing forwards, and then when you initiate the roll, you should come out in a straight line. We're now going to be doing the parkour roll with a little bit of movement. Start off with a walk and then more of a run. You might like to have a softer mat as you start to begin with. As you're coming towards the mat, make sure you place your hands at either corner to make sure you initiate the roll with your shoulder coming down the middle to make sure you go across your spine when you roll. We'll now slowly increase the speed as we go along until we can do it at a running pace. We're now going to test ourselves a little bit more by jumping off higher objects, landing, and then going into the parkour roll. What you've got to make sure is that you start to absorb the landing with your knees, making sure you place your hands still to the side and go into the parkour roll as you're landing. Before you jump, make sure you choose which side you're going to put your hands, and in the parkour triangle, make sure you're bending them to brace the fall before you initiate the roll. Now you're more confident, you might want to challenge yourself and build up the height that you're jumping on. The basics still remain the same, making sure you're choosing which side you're going to brace yourself with the parkour triangle before you land. You may feel you're now ready to really challenge yourself by jumping over objects, landing into a parkour roll. It's important when you start this to make sure you have a good landing, like a landing mat such as this.